was wrong, there is no one here. So welcome to what I assume will be part 2, because I pressed pause, but I went over and had a look, and I came back and the screen was off, and when I opened it again, it wasn't recording. So hopefully that's saved, rather than discarded. I haven't checked, but I got to the back work as part of the warm-up. So, as I said yesterday, it was just jabs, using head movement, leg movement, angles and whatnot on the bag. I switched stances a lot, changed up which jab I was throwing. I wasn't paying attention to what other people were doing, so they may have been doing the same, they may have just been orthodox or southpawing it the whole time, who knows? But yeah, that's that. And then we did jab, jab, cross. So bam, bam, bam. Though they did say jab 1-2. I assumed they meant jab cross for 1-2. So that's what I was doing. I accidentally threw the occasional 3 as a hook, but every time I did it, I just reminded myself jab, jab, cross. Keeping motion whilst doing that was hard. I've got to really work on that. So if I throw a jab, throw my second jab, I should be able to move into a more advantageous position for the cross, I think. But that'll come with practice and getting used to it. Then after that was kicking. I'm not sure how long each of these rounds were, 2-3 minutes maybe. So yeah, kicking was just legs. So you can kick, you can knee, but that's it, no hands. I did throw one elbow, I think, but I immediately told myself just legs. So there's roundhouse kicks, thrust kicks, or teeps, as I have heard them referred to, which would be, for me, a front leg thrust kick from my kung fu background. Then lots of knees. I threw a couple star kicks or heel kicks. But yeah, that wasn't too bad. Keeping footwork whilst doing that, I think that'll be really helpful for me to do that regularly, because my kicks, they're not very good. Partially because I'm really slow with pulling them back, but partially because I've not got the hip flexibility, and I've not got much power. My legs are strong, but they're not great at kicking. After going through that ordeal of kicking, it was all in. Hands, elbows, knees, arms, legs, feet, whatever. That was good. Really laid into the bag, but of course the bag doesn't fight back. But we were meant to pretend like the bag could fight back, which I did my best. But of course, if you're visualizing, then you can tell what's going to come next, because it's in your brain, can't you? So you effectively have preternatural reflexes in that situation, which is very unrealistic. Still useful, but not as useful as an actual sparring partner. But then we moved on to the drills, like I said yesterday. The drills, I was paired up with someone who I think's been there for quite a while, and it was jab, jab, step forward and jab, cross, lean back. The first one was with the shoulder still forward, but lean back out of the way of, I think it was a left hook. Step forward, jab, cross. Sprawl. After which, we went for, we did that alternating backwards and forwards a few times. I really suck at sprawling, something I plan on practicing today, in fact. Then, after that, we went for similar, jab, jab, step forward, jab, cross, lean back, shoulders square, lean forward, hook, roundhouse, hook, roundhouse, sprawl. But they actually shoot in that one for you to do the sprawl. Yeah. one of the things I was worried about with that is that guy was a bit smaller than me, and I was like, I don't want to hurt him. So you're meant to put your whole weight on someone in a sprawl. And it wasn't until he told me to that I really started to push towards that, and I still wasn't there. But that's fine. I'm sure that in the adrenaline of an actual fight situation, I probably would. Then, after we did that, we moved on to some sparring, which is good because we're training to compete, so we would come under the elite sports thing because there's money involved, effectively. It's part of our livelihoods. Got to make back the money I'm spending on this training, otherwise I probably won't be able to buy food. Yay! No, I will be able to buy food, I think. Paying council tax, however. I don't know. Please, Universal Credit, help me out. Or, get back to me, Zatu Games, about a job. But this is meant to be about training, so sparring. We did 4 rounds, something like that. So I was in the octagon for the first 2 with another pair. So we had to be a bit spaceship oriented. We effectively took the door side, they took the far side. I was with the same dude as before for the first one. And he's fast. Got some good shots in. I think that I held my own. Obviously, sparring is like real gentle, and because it was my first time, I assumed he took it way too easy on me. But I got a few shots in. He got a few shots in. I'm not sure I learned anything. The purpose of sparring, obviously, to practice and learn. But who knows? But no, it was good. I think it was a good warm-up round for me. The next one, the fellow was less energetic, far worse cardio than the first fellow. I'm really bad with names. I will learn them eventually, I'm sure, though. Yeah, he was bigger, taller than me, and everyone was using big gloves as opposed to like MMA gloves for the most part, which confused me because it's an MMA gym and we're training MMA. But whatever. Yeah, bam. That was good. He was definitely more of a grappler than a striker, even though he had a big reach advantage to me. I would say he probably had 4-inch reach advantage, something like that. So I kept going close, still trying to work in knees and elbows. I got a few, but they all have to be very gentle. It's sparring. And we weren't wearing knee and elbow pads, which I could recommend for sparring, to be honest. Yeah. So we did that, and he took me to the ground, and because we were instructed to not be on the ground for too long, I effectively managed to just barely get out of a submission, and then we got up, and then another time I did a reversal and we got up. I'm still not entirely sure how I did the reversal. I was flying through the air, and then I somehow twisted and pushed him over using my thighs. But it happened, and it was brilliant. And yeah, and another time he went to go do a takedown, and I managed to effectively jump to get him to back off, because then all of my weight was on him, and it was on his just below the neck area, top of the back, not quite shoulders area. Yeah, then third person is currently in a fight camp ready for their next bout in Contenders, so they are where I want to be. And yeah, they really took the sparring slow. It was slow, soft. They kicked me in the head twice, but I got in quite a few good shots to the body, a couple face punches, but it was all very slow. I have no idea how it would be in an actual combat situation with them because of that. Then moving on to my final one, they were a smoker who has terrible cardio, used to do jiu-jitsu, it's probably a black belt equivalent, but they did it when they were 14, and they can't anymore. And you're not allowed. Well, they did it when they were 14, and then they quit because apparently you're not allowed a black belt until you're 16, which doesn't make much sense to me, but whatever. So I'm assuming they got up to black belt level but couldn't actually get the belt. But that was a long time ago. So their striking wasn't great, their cardio wasn't great. So I kind of dominated a bit there. Yeah, so that was pretty much all the training. Towards the end, someone in the last round of sparring, someone dislocated their knee. Then we had a cool down that was led by the dude who's in the fight camp at the moment. And that's about that. I'll be back next week. And I suppose that I can probably upload these videos back to back. The previous one will be Road to Reeve. This one will be Road to Reeve, and then I'll do a vlog separately, because this one's already 11 minutes. The other one must have been over 5. That's over a quarter of an hour of the Road to Reeve today. Road of Reeve, not Road to Reeve. Yeah. And then I'll do a vlog separately, wandering around like I do. But I will catch you cats on the flip-flop, and when I make the page live, I'll try and put a donation link in the description. Anything's welcome.